Karen's cruelty and arrogance reached a new, shocking level when she began insulting my disabled spouse during judicial proceedings. She strutted into the courtroom with the same smirk she always wore, convinced that her position as HOA president gave her the right to belittle and demean others. But she didn't realize that my spouse was not only highly capable but also a legal genius, fully versed in the law and prepared to respond to every insult, every jab, and every attempt at intimidation. As Karen launched into her tirade, mocking disability and attempting to undermine credibility, my spouse remained calm, composed, and utterly strategic. Every insult she threw became a tool for counteraction, every dismissive gesture recorded and noted. Karen, in her arrogance, assumed that mockery alone could sway a judge or intimidate those in the courtroom, but she had gravely underestimated the combination of legal acumen and preparation she was facing. When it came time to respond, my spouse's arguments were precise, methodical, and devastating. Karen's mockery became evidence of her bias, her lack of understanding, and her overreach as an HOA leader. Each point was countered with citations of law, procedural knowledge, and precedent that she could not possibly anticipate. The courtroom, once a stage for her condescension, transformed into a theater of her humiliation. Karen's frustration was palpable. She attempted to interject, to argue, to assert dominance, but every word she spoke only served to strengthen the case against her. Judges, officers, and even members of her HOA were forced to witness her unchecked entitlement collapsing under the weight of law, logic, and preparation. She had assumed she could belittle a disabled person with impunity, never imagining that they were more than capable of defending themselves, and doing so with brilliance. The ripple effect of this confrontation extended beyond the courtroom. Karen's reputation among neighbors and the HOA began to deteriorate rapidly. Whispers of her arrogance and cruelty spread, and it became clear that her authority had limits she had never considered. She had thought she could assert dominance through insult and intimidation, but instead, she had exposed herself to scrutiny, ridicule, and legal vulnerability. I watched as Karen's control slipped further. Every action she had taken, every insult thrown, every attempt to intimidate or belittle, became part of a growing pattern of evidence that documented her mismanagement, entitlement, and recklessness. Her assumptions about power and authority had been shattered, and she now faced the stark reality that attacking the wrong person could have severe consequences. By the end of the week, it was clear that Karen had underestimated my family completely. She had attempted to humiliate, intimidate, and assert control, but instead, she had inadvertently highlighted her own incompetence. The courtroom had become a stage not for her dominance, but for her downfall. The lesson was undeniable. Entitlement, arrogance, and cruelty, when faced with strategy, knowledge, and preparation, will always meet their match. And Karen had just learned that lesson in the most public, irreversible way possible.